Loved one, it's TJ here. I am back as requested and as I promised. I knew good and well I was going to come back with these details because it's actually important for me to share this. I couldn't do a psychic abilities series and leave this part out. Okay. If you haven't already checked out the video, the Clairsentient video, the Empaths video, go ahead and click the link here in the cards and then come on back and let us talk about some Clairsentient energy protocol. That's what I'm calling it. Just, my notes are a little bit scattered here, so please bear with me. But without further ado, let's dive in. Now, first of all, what I want to tell you is that this is merely a guide. Now, when I say merely a guide, this is all the things that has worked for me. And what I always recommend about any modality, anything you learn, I don't care how long it's been out and how ancient it is, you learn it. And then as you learn it and integrate and master it, you begin to also put your own signature on it and make it your own. After all, most all of this stuff came from someone's imagination. So I encourage you to use yours and, work with your intuition, your own intuition and knowing. Okay. So I wanted to put that out there first. These things work with me as time goes on, or work for me. And as time goes on, you will intuitively know what you want to keep, what you want to add, what works for you, what doesn't, or things that you want to maybe elevate for yourself, okay? As you evolve, you'll discover that you may not have to do this, okay, as often, or it will take seconds for you to deploy. So any protocol that you put in place, you'll find like over time that it might just take a few minutes because now you're a pro at it, basically. Or you may have already built up so much of that energy that you may not have to do it as often. Okay, and you can even you'll be able to tune in even because you're practicing. The more you do these things, it's called practice. And the more you practice, you're creating a buildup of the energy. It's something that I always, like to share with people. When you are meditating or praying in a space, the more you meditate and pray in a particular space, the more sacred that space becomes, okay? Because you're building that energy there. So this is basically the same thing. All right. So now by intentionally working with this energy regularly, you maybe find that it becomes automatic, or you have it on autopilot with only some maintenance being required, which is kind of what I explained. All right. Okay, let me see. What other thing do I want to tell you? Yes. Okay. Now remember, this is more about you and less about other people. I'm going to repeat that. It's more about you and less about other people. No one can drain your energy unless you're open to it, or unless you allow it. All right. So by that, I mean, not only be cognizant of the people, places, things, situations, and conversations that you entertain, but also be intentional and deliberate about keeping seniority and dominion over your own energy. So in a nutshell, strengthen your auric field. If your auric field is thin, or if there's a tear in it, then it becomes easier for other people to drain your energy. It becomes easier for you to take on so much of other people's stuff. Okay, and that's with anyone. And some people are more sensitive, more empathic, than others. And so this message is more so for you, if that is you. Okay. So again, if a lot of times you can tell when you're off your game because you get a little bit more frazzled a little faster. Okay, so it's up to you. There are people who intentionally are energy dragons, energy vampires. Well, I got dragon on the mind. Oh yeah, I was watching a cartoon with dragons in it. I'm like, dragons. Anyway, energy vampires. They're people who do it unknowingly. It doesn't matter one way or the other. It's not their fault if they zap your energy, because you the boss. I'm saying, you got to boss up on it. Boss up on it. All right. So strengthen and or repair your auric field so things can't easily penetrate or seep in. And that's another way, when I told you to be cognizant of the people, places, things, conversations, and situations that you entertain, be real mindful of all of those things too, because those things do help to attract energies that you don't want. Okay. In your auric field, which, in case you didn't know, your auric field is at least this wide. So if you have your arms out, it's at least this wide. Some people say it's bigger. But either way, you have more than just this physical body. You have a field. And if there is residue of mess and nonsense in that field, okay, because like attracts like attracts like attracts like. Okay, this is energy. What will happen is you're going to get more of the same. It's like a big stamp, like a big, it's like, okay, what does this person want? Oh, this person wants nonsense and foolishness and tomfoolery. Boom, give her more than that. Give her more of that. Oh, this person wants, ease and bliss and abundance. Boom, give this person that. Okay, so it's set up to give you what you want based on what's in your field. So if there's a residue of nonsense, then that's what happened. Now, we are all human, and sometimes stuff happens, and sometimes we slip up and blah, 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 blah. But I'm speaking of your overall most dominant frequency. Okay, the winner, you want the winner, the most dominant one, you want that one to be more of what you want in your physical experience. So that's why I'm saying all of this. It all goes together. It all goes hand in hand. So essentially, if I don't want a lot of hanger-oners and energy vampires and folks zapping my energy, then I make sure that I have high conversations. I make sure that I'm always leading with love and light, regardless of who I'm speaking with, so that I continue to track that. I make sure that I generate a certain type of ease, a certain caliber of ease in my life, so that things continue to be as easy as possible for me. Okay, and that's based on my perspective. All right, so let's get started. I done already did my little preaching, fussing. All right, let's get started with the protocols. Okay, the very first thing, all right, right upon waking up, all right, pure, divine, unconditional love, light bubble. All right, how do you do this? First of all, right upon waking up, that's recommended, or at least before leaving the house or before engaging with other people. I like to do this as soon as I open my eyes because I'm still in that frequency of theta. Okay, I'm still relaxed. All right. So what you want to do is you take 3 deep centering breaths, and then you start visualizing something or someone that you really, really love. There is no judgment. Okay, we love our whole family. Just because you might pick one that you love him more right now, there's no judgment on that. Okay, nobody has to know. Just pick something or someone that you really love. Okay, visualize them. Now feel that love. Put them right here in your heart. Okay, and now feel that love from the center of the center of the center of the center of your heart. And as you're doing that, you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you visualize a beautiful light of love coming from your heart all through your body, filling up your entire body. I visualize a golden pink, okay? Whatever you want to visualize. Sometimes I visualize sparkles, but I visualize it coming from my heart through my entire body. I take another deep breath in, and when I exhale, that bubble, now I'm in a bubble, okay? I expand that so that I'm enveloped in that beautiful pink, sparkly, golden light. And then you keep doing it. You breathe it in again, and now you're breathing it into your heart space, but you're breathing it through all pores. Just imagine all of that light is coming back in into your heart, and then you expand it out through the whole space. And this doesn't have to take a long time, but if your visualization, take as long as you need, okay? At first, just take as long as you need. By the time it's done, now I'm visualizing my neighborhood covered in this. I'm visualizing Mama Earth down below me, and I just keep expanding it out, thinking of this beautiful love, and I'm surrounded in it, and I just continue to breathe it in and out, in and out, in and out. Now it's all over the state. It goes all around the country, then it goes all around the world, then it goes all around the world and up to the ethers, beyond our imaginations, to all of the beings and all of that. Hold it for as long as you can. And while you're holding it, you bless one and all. Send lots of love and healing blessings to one and all, and whatever other goodness you wish to send to them. Go ahead and do that. And while you're there, and you might be crying uncontrollably, feel it. You might be smiling uncontrollably, feel it. And while you're there, speak gratitude. What are you grateful for? One big thing you're grateful for. Okay? Look, I feel like I'm in there right now. Hold it as long as you wish. Okay? And you wish everyone well, healing, blessings, peace, prosperity, ease, bliss, whatever it is. And you just leave it. Like, I just set the intention that I'm leaving it on. And when you do that, pay attention to the interactions that you have out in public, or even with loved ones on the phone, or, in the house, the family, whatever. Just pay attention and see how things flow in the home. Okay? Do that. That's number one. Okay? That is number one. And here's the premise. The point is, love is light. The idea of needing protection is not my favorite concept, because by protection, that implies that there's some sort of friction, some sort of polarity, that implies that there is some sort of resistance, all of that. When really, if you turn, light heals everything. Light is protective. Love is protective. Pure, divine, unconditional love is protective. It's healing. Okay? So if the way I see it, when the light is on and it's shining bright with pure intention, nothing can penetrate that is not of that same resonance. Okay? Now, I understand that some people like this concept. I love this concept because it's real. It's absolute. However, there may be times where you feel like, or especially in the beginning, you feel like, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and this. You're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. And I say, do it. I say, go ahead and do it until you feel more comfortable and complete in this, okay? Because there was a time that I did the same. And sometimes, depending on what I have scheduled for my day, the things that I have to do for the day, sometimes I might have to add something else to it. All right. So that's the first thing out the gate. All right. And I like to say my prayers. Okay. Prayer is power in prayer. Straight out prayer. This is a prayer of gratitude. This is a prayer for guidance. This is a prayer for physical healing, whatever it might be. That's your time for communion. That's your self-care, your self-love. All right. You're getting yourself set up for the day. All right. Next, ground yourself so that you can hold dominion over your own energy. And how do I do this? After I've done the love, light, and it doesn't have to be in any particular order, but, after I've done the love, light, prayer, whatnot, I might sit there and I will sit and I will visualize roots. Some people can visualize light. Some people visualize chains, but I visualize roots growing from my base, from my trunk, which is the root chakra where you sit, and from the bottoms of my feet. And I visualize thick roots growing deep into the earth's crust, all through the crystal caves, all through the fire, through the bones, through the dirt, all the way down through to the earth's core. And while I'm doing that, I chant, I am grounded, I am safe, I am protected, I belong, I am rooted. And I'll say that until my heart is content. All right. Sometimes I will be driving down the street and I will visualize roots coming from the bottom of the car. Okay. Because we are on the road and we are being safe, and nothing is going to move this. Nothing's moving us. Okay. We will pivot if we have to, but we're going to pivot as we shade our own ground. Okay. The light bubble. Now, the light bubble is very similar to the pure divine unconditional love bubble. However, the light bubble, I visualize a golden white light. And just so you know, some people say they surround themselves in the white light. I'm going to give you another, let's go deeper with this. We have a divine light within us. So you take that divine light within you and you radiate it out and around you. And then you bubble up in that. Okay. You visualize that beautiful light coming from within you and bubble up around you. Cut it on, just like you cut on the lights on the wall and you walk away and do what you have to do. That's how you do it. Bloop, my light is on. Boom, it's on. I don't have to go through all the extras. It's on. Okay, like I said, sometimes this stuff can be automatic. You have it on autopilot. We are magic. Oh, my ring just fell off. We are magical, okay? Just like those TV shows, those, those fantasy shows and some of those superhero movies. I started off visualizing like I had the powers in my hands, because I do, okay? That's a whole other video altogether. Next, permission roses, okay? The permission rose essentially is, it doesn't matter if someone else is having a bad day. You wish them well and love and all of that. But if you walk into a space and sometimes you can feel the energy there, or maybe a coworker is having a bad day and they're just like, or even if you anywhere, anyone, it is a bad day, or maybe not the most upbeat, or maybe they are not expressing it verbally, but they have the aura going. You have your permission rose in your auric field. I don't have my roses over here. Knock on wood, I don't have my roses over here. But imagine that this is a rose and the head of the rose is right here. It's open. However you want to imagine it. Any color that you want to imagine, okay? I imagine all types. But for me, it's red. Sometimes it's just a big, beautiful, velvety red. Sometimes it has sparkles. But it's in my auric field. And as people go by, I imagine that one rose is just separating out of my big rose that I already have. Sometimes I pretend like I have a big old sack of roses. Like when I'm driving, I have the roses attached to the car, and as we're driving, the roses are just falling out the sack, and every car now has a rose over them, or in front of them, or behind them. If I'm in a situation where it's going to be a whole lot of people, whole lot of energy, then I have lots of roses all around me, and I send roses out to everyone. And I still do that because it's so fun. Like, why not give everybody a permission rose? I want them to be safe too. And the whole point, permission means it's not protection. It's a permission rose. So my rose here is separating out, and you have permission to have the kind of day that you want in your own space. It's not going to penetrate my space. Okay, as I move around, you can imagine any color, how many you want, whatever, just have them all around you, floating around your auric space. So people have permission to be in their own lane, in their own energy field. I've also been at the store just playing around. I would be in the aisle, and I used to have this thing where people would just walk between me and the shelf. And I'm like, I'm right here. And they're like squeezing between me and the shelf. And I purposely wouldn't move because I'm like, this can't be happening when there's a lot of space behind me. Or they'll be right next to me and they'll reach over in front of me or something like that. It's very rude, but I also felt like, okay, what's that? It's something else going on here. And it's not only that this person is being rude. So what I started doing was doing the permission rose thing. As soon as I would hear someone come up, I would just throw the permission roses out and I would shrink my auric field, expand my pure divine love field, and just walk all the way around, or they'll go down a different aisle. Have fun with it. Approach it with amusement. Why not? I mean, it's so fun. And the more you practice, the more you'll, have fun with it, pass it on to other people, and then you'll have your own set of protocols in place, okay? Now, after you have had your day, and you're ready to, all right, relax, wind down, and release all the things from the day, what you can do, say you're leaving from work, get in the car, in love and gratitude, I release all energy that is not mine. In love and gratitude, I call back my own high vibrational frequency energy of pure divine unconditional love, light, ease, bliss, and abundance. That's the words that I say for mine. You can say whatever you want to say, but bottom line is I call back my own energy. I am whole, I am whole, I am whole. Now you could do that, and you get home, salt bath. If you can't get in the bath or you don't have a bath, just soak your feet in some Epsom salt. It can be like a 5-minute dip in the tub, a 5-minute foot soak. Or you can get those bars that I mentioned before, those Himalayan salt bars. They look like bars of soap. I keep one at each basin in the bathrooms, and then I'll just rub my hands on that and rinse it off. And I do that a lot of times throughout the day. When I feel like I need it, I'm like, let me, if I had like a conversation where I had to get very detailed, or just it's hectic or something like that, I will do that. But salt removes toxins and it removes energy from your body, as well as the other medicinal properties. The energetic properties of salt are quite magical. Salt is a crystal. It grows in crystalline form, and it's just a beautiful way to release energy of other people. Okay. When I'm in the bath, I like to do this when I'm in the bath or just before bed. I will call my own energy back. Before I call energy back, releasing cords, returning cords to others. Okay. This is what I do. You ready? You ready? In love and gratitude, I return all cords that were sent to me, known and unknown, back to the original owner. May those cords be transformed and transmuted to golden white light that is useful for the highest good of all. In love and gratitude, I call back any cords that I sent out to others, known or unknown, and may those cords return to me in pure golden white light that is useful for my highest good. Okay, I take 3 deep breaths, and then I silently yell my full name in my head 3 times. You can do it as many times as you want. Yell your name as if you are yelling at yourself across the street because here comes a car. Yell it loud, but in your head, and feel your energy start to return back to you. And if it's your first time doing it, energy might be coming back to you from the days of old when when it was farmed out. You know what I'm saying? I am whole, I am whole, I am whole. That's what I say afterwards. And I love to do this right before going to sleep because it makes for the best sleep. Okay, so the reason why I bring the cords up, because we cord into each other energetically all the time. And sometimes you can cord into people just by thinking of them. And I don't know what people are thinking when they're cording in. A lot of people don't know that they're cording in, but those cords attached. Anyone that you've had sexual relations with, any relationship you're courting in. And it's perfectly fine to keep cords for like loved ones, like parents. Those cords, you know, they're very, very thick and hard to, you know, take off. And you don't want to take certain cords off, okay? But that's a whole nother story altogether. But energetic cords that, you know, you don't know where they came from and what they were and all of that. You think about a cord and something getting tied up in cords and how stressful and constricted that could make the thing. So it's the same thing. So you're releasing those cords, but you're calling yours back too, because you too have sent cords. We all send cords. So calling them back and just making sure that it's just really beautiful and in love, and you know what I'm saying, and gratitude. And I used to say I return the cords back to the original owner in the way in which they were sent. But that's not really nice. I want those cords to be transformed and transmuted into gold and white light that's useful for their highest good. Because how else, if I'm here to help save the world, then that's what I need to do. I'm not going to return to sender being all nasty. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like not in the right spirit. Also, and I know this is a lot, so you can rewind and listen to it again. Take some notes. Take notes. Let me see. Is there anything else? Let me look at my list. Okay, the other part. I remember mentioning mirror balls. If you want to do the return to sender thing, and you're out and about and you know you're going to be in like spaces, maybe you don't want to really engage, but you're going to be in spaces where there's a lot of energy, a lot of people, and you got your light shining from within you, you can also do the mirror ball thing where you just put the mirror ball around you. Your white light is glowing through the ball, but then there's mirrors. So anything that is trying to come is not only going to not penetrate your field, but it's going to go right back to the person that sent it. Okay. And so then there lies a lesson for them. Okay. They'll, whatever that might be and however that looks for them, that's whatever. Okay. So that is like the kitchen sink worth of stuff. And I think I've said a lot here. I hope it has helped you. Let us know which ones you use already. Let me know which ones you've added, you know, and if you have some that I didn't mention, put them in the comments, because somebody else may want to use it and try it on for size. Okay. All right. Until the next video, live simply and be kind.